Hi everyone, I'm Coco from the blog. Today I'm very honored to have Alex from YZI Labs, and he is the investment director. And also he is based in London, and now we are very honored to have him in Dubai. And so I will have a few questions to ask you, Alex. But before that, please say hi to our audience.
Hi everyone. Hi Coco. Thanks a lot for hosting me. It's a pleasure to be back in Dubai. I come here quite often. Really like the atmosphere and the people. Coming from rainy London to Dubai is always a pleasure.
Nice. Yeah, CZ is based here, right? So you come here to see him very often.
He is, yeah.
Does he share any visions in terms of how YZI Labs is going to develop in the long run? And it's very interesting how he kind of switched from crypto to now kind of running this, fundraising for startups and running YZI Labs. What is his vision there, and what is he thinking?
Sure, I can give a quick summary, but he also had some sharing that he's done publicly over the past few months. Since the beginning of this year, we actually set out the strategy into three main directions. First being Web3, which is what we've always have done and focused on. We have like hundreds of companies in our portfolio from that side. Then we're also focused on more traditional AI, so it doesn't necessarily have to be just crypto AI. It can be more traditional sort of Web 2, so to say, AI.
Yeah.
And then third aspect is biotech or healthcare investments.
Yeah.
So we're now doing that too. And I have a new colleague. She's actually in town as well, not with us, but she's focused on that vertical.
I see. Very interesting. Yeah, we have seen a lot of investment going on from YZI Labs, and so I'm sure a lot of people in front of their phones are very curious to know, is there any specific procedures of how YZI Labs is making investment, and what do you prioritize, and what do you see of those investment? How do you evaluate those investors, the startup entrepreneurs? How do you see those projects? Why would you invest in those projects?
Totally. So actually I get this question a lot, and we run an incubation program where we share some of those thoughts, but fundamentally it comes to answering a few questions. First and foremost is the team. We pay a lot of attention to the team. We think that the team is of the utmost importance when it comes to making investment decisions, especially in early stage investment opportunities. We're looking at pre-seed and seed, where really the most weight actually is carried by the team factor. So we try to spend a lot of time with the team, whether that's on calls or actually physical meetings. And we approach that from a team perspective, from our side as well. So it's sort of a team-to-team getting to know each other. As pretty much any other investment, it's not just an exchange of capital where we just write a check and give it to the team. It's a long-term partnership. So we want to make sure that we're working with the right partner as well.
Correct, yes. Okay, so answer the fundamental questions, why this team, right?
Correct, yes. So just like you have product market fit, we think team to product fit is as important. We like having the teams that have the right motivation, right incentives, but also the right background to be tackling some of very important, very difficult problems that they are solving.
Yeah.
Because ultimately it boils down to one thing, which is them actually spending their full time at cracking that problem and building something out of it.
I see. Interesting. So you also come from a math and economic background. Do you value any of the financial viabilities or the technical part from the project when it comes to investment?
Totally. So now we're getting into the next few sort of metrics or attributes that as an investor we're very keen on actually exploring as well. So for sure, like the business model and the sustainability is very important. I think fundamentally what we're looking for, just like with any other businesses, is a model behind it that can actually sustain itself in the long term. So in crypto, no one actually has canceled the foundational principles of business, which is revenue generation, actually creating value for the end user, whether that's B2B or B2C or B2B2C. All of those eventually require a revenue generation, revenue stream that can sustain the project into the future. So absolutely, we're looking out for that. We're really looking seeing businesses in crypto actually being sustainable over the long term.
Yeah, nice, interesting. So you're looking for the right people, right personality, right motivation, right incentives. Is there any other things that you're looking into when it comes to, I've seen, for any company also looking for, financial viability, also long-term investment. How do you kind of balance out those things when it comes to, daily procedures of your work?
Of course. So the next thing I think it would be the innovation or the novelty of the technology, of the solution. We love stuff that is actually really hard and might take a few years to build out. That's what we're actually here for as a long-term investor. We look out for very innovative ways of solving things.
Yeah.
I think crypto is the best place for that because there's no limiting factors. Like you can come up with an idea and there's a clean slate for you to start building, hire a team, fundraise.
Yeah.
Unlike, in Web 2 where there was like very big constraints around the fundraising, you had to do it in a particular way. Or hiring a team, most of the time you had to be based on one of the talent hubs, whether that was Silicon Valley or somewhere in Europe or perhaps in Asia. Now we're talking about a borderless access to talent, and there's a lot of innovation potential that comes out from that as well.
Yeah. So obviously YZI Labs is very famous from its background, also from this fantastic team of you have organized. Other than the reputation and the support and the popularness of this company, is there any other support that you would like to give and contribute to the project that you're investing?
Yes, of course, and that's a great question. Most of the people actually think about investors as someone who just writes a ticket and then just goes away and you don't hear from them until there's an exit opportunity. And I think that's fundamentally wrong. What we are positioning ourselves as is a partner. So we invest, but we also are there to support the project to the extent that it makes sense and they need our support. If we're talking about very early stage projects, we actually run an incubation program. So we've just announced the so-called YZI Residence. You can check it out on our Twitter. If you go to YZI Labs on our X profile, we're admitting applicants to it. It's an incubation program which will take place in person, so it's offline, completely hands-on experience that you'll have at that point with us. And we're really looking for the top 1% of builders that we're looking to admit. In terms of verticals, we're quite flexible. There's a lot of things that we get to cover, and I encourage everyone to go and check it out. The next cohort is going to be based out of the Bay Area, but we're looking to announce other cohorts later down the line in other big cities like Singapore and Dubai as well.
Dubai, yeah. How's your visit in Dubai so far?
It's amazing. I love coming back to Dubai. It's a great city with lots of innovation. Every time I come back, and I'm amazed at the progress that's being done around.
Yeah, and obviously Dubai is very open in terms of they're very crypto friendly and trying new things. And also YZI is based in Dubai, and that means a lot for the whole industry. So you also mentioned that the flexibilities and the capital kind of merge very well with AI and biotech and also the long-term investment. How do you leverage the kind of a global ecosystem together with your company's long-term investment? And I think it's a very complex question, right? So you can talk about what kind of progress you have been seeing from the past work, and anything that is really exciting that we're happy to hear out.
Totally. So crypto, blockchain, Web3, whichever label you'd like to use, is inherently borderless. So you don't necessarily have to be in one particular spot in order to contribute or build or even invest actually in the space. With AI is somewhat similar, especially now that we're seeing a lot of crossover between AI and crypto. So I would say that AI actually lowers the barrier. Now, if you want to build something, you can spin up an MVP quite easily using some of the large language models, which are pretty good at, code.
Yeah.
So you can start building straight out of the bat, regardless wherever you are. You don't have to be, again, Silicon Valley or Europe, Dubai, wherever. You can be anywhere. And then thirdly, I would say that crossing those overs, the sort of the low barriers that AI offers these days with the incentives that you can build using crypto technology is a fundamental shift in how things are done. So we're seeing a lot of innovation on the agent, in the agent space.
General AI agents?
Well,
Or
I would say
sorts?
like very broad definition of that. It can start with very simple stuff as execution agents that just like are just a step above so trading bots to like completely independent agents that you can give them a wallet and then they can do something with it with absolute independence from whoever provided that wallet. They actually own the keys to the wallet and they can do stuff with it, whether that's in DeFi, whether that's in gaming, whether that's in any vertical within crypto. That's actually already fundamentally different to the way we were operating before, because scaling agents is a matter of how much code you can write. And we can have like billions of agents running around interacting between each other.
Yeah. So you were saying previously that you're really open in terms of any sort of innovation in the world, a very advanced forefront stuff you're happy to look into. But would you say like if they have a crypto edge in the project that will give them the benefits of a preference of the investment from the YZI Labs?
Yes, of course. So the tokenomics aspect is also very important. Tokenomics, otherwise said, it's a design, it's a system that allows you to enhance certain aspects, whether that's on the incentive side or the technology side or whichever part of the product. If you overlay it with a tokenomic model on top, it can enhance the whole experience tremendously. So there is a lot of innovation that happens within the tokenomic aspect, whether that's doing things differently. We kind of progress from having points-based system to a sort of more engagement-based. Like the airdrops now are not just a function of trying to
Rewards.
try to participate in a way that doesn't actually stick around after. I think a lot of people learn those. Again, like emission rewards that we had in the DeFi summer in the previous cycle, those things are not around anymore. We actually innovated a lot beyond that. And I think now the interaction with this tokenomic model are a lot more meaningful. And we're actually seeing, some perp dexes that you might know became very big because fundamentally they approach tokenomics from a community-first aspect.
So having a community is also a plus.
Yes, it's a great advantage. It's like one of the biggest assets that's very, very hard to crack. But once you get it, once you have that support that will stick around, whether that's bull market or bear market, is an incredible asset for any protocol.
So you value a community as more like a value or more of like a user-based support or fundamental? How would you see community fits in with technology and innovation?
Yeah, I think it's actually a combination of those two. And in fact, it goes in sort of flywheel. Because if you have a strong community behind it, if you just go to CoinMarketCap and then look at the top 30 projects, you will quickly identify some protocols that the reason why they're there is only because of their community. There's not, fundamentally not a lot happening in there other than the community, right? So the community actually drives a lot of the value. And it's very, very, very hard to actually build a long, sustaining, solid community that will be there to back you no matter what.
Yeah. Okay. So community is key, innovation is key.
Yes.
So everything has to add up together as a full package. Then YZI Labs will be very interested in investing.
Absolutely. Yes.
Go ahead.
So just to summarize, team, innovation, business model, community, tokenomics as well, as we discussed, very important.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to have all of those figured out in the very early stages, even the team, obviously, like when someone comes at the pre-seed or seed level, the team you have at pre-seed is most likely just a couple of co-founders. You don't have to have the entire team set out. But that's the most important, at least like having a plan and a vision with the very right amount of motivation behind a very solid team will get you a long way.
So people at the end, it was
Yes.
the most core thing that you look into.
People is the most important, for sure, totally.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you.
We're good to have you here, and welcome to come to our interview again.
Thank
you.
you.